Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Be Her with Shalon. And we are in season 2 and having conversations to different solo moms about their experiences and their journey of navigating through like solo parenting and how that has affected them and their lives and their kids and all of the good things. So today we have Jeanine here with me, and she's going to share a little bit with us about her experience with being a solo mom. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, Jeanine.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Sure. I'm a solo mom. I have been solo parenting with shared time for just over 10 years. I have two boys. They are now 16 and 14. And it's just the three of us that live in my space. My youngest one still goes back and forth. My oldest one, who we just saw pop around the corner, lives with me full time and has for about 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I work full time. I also have bartended on the side, my side gig, for all of those 10 years. Uh, well before that too, but not so much until after I was a solo
Mm-hmm.
mom. So that's kind of where I'm at. I fit in, friends, family, all the
What you
things.
can when you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't realize like that you've been bartending for that long. Like how has that been having to navigate like basically two jobs and working like some evenings and stuff?
I'll tell you. So in the beginning, you don't get a lot of time for social stuff.
Yeah.
Um, they were little. So in the beginning, I bartended when they would go see their dad,
Mm-hmm.
mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Then it became holy life is expensive if I want to have the things, do the things, eat the things. And so it was, now I have to do this because I've got two boys that eat more than I do. Um, and need clothes and shoes and all the things. Um, and just, I mean, you want to live a certain way, still do some of the things. So, I mean, it was a choice I made. Did I have
Mm-hmm.
to? Probably not. It was a skill I had when I went to university, and I bartended during that time too to pay for my classes. And it just complemented kind of, I mean, you pull on the things that you know, right?
Right.
So,
Exactly.
I mean, feet don't sell that well online. I think people.
Why does everybody go to the feet pics right away? Oh my goodness, that's funny.
No, I mean,
We don't want to be selling feet pics, everybody.
well, I mean, I feel that it's more reputable than some of the other means of online selling. So maybe. Oh,
This is
it just kind of, it was a skill I had. I mean, I did during COVID, I did do a little bit of interior painting with a guy that I was seeing then. He was kind of a general contractor. And so anyone that needed stuff done for paint, like there was some stuff that I did that just you do what you know, right? I mean, if I was a baker and I had the patience to like sit and wait for muffins and didn't get distracted and then like, what's that smell? Oh shit, I'm baking. Um,
isn't that just like real life though? Like you just have so many things on the go and you get distracted and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I forgot what I was doing like 20 minutes ago.
yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was one of the things that I could do when I didn't feel like I was taking more time away because I already work a full-time job, have since my university was done. And so bartending just kind of fit in that space when like they were sleeping and I didn't have to like, I don't know, worry about missing out on the fun stuff with them. So, God, I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you have two kids 2 years apart and you're tired anyways. So, like, what's the difference?
Aren't you usually like, I feel like you're just tired through motherhood in general,
Yeah.
like no matter what.
Yeah.
There's no catching up on sleep.
Yeah, it just becomes.
And that's not even just single moms. I feel like that's just moms in general, right? And then when you're doing it by yourself, it's like that additional like tired because you're just like trying to make things happen and like survive and get through. And yeah, it's just like go, go, go constantly, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
kind of like the bartending thing. It just kind of fit into like that time when like if I did have them, I could take them to grandma and grandpa's and they could spend time there and I'd drop them off, put them to bed with them, like at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then off I go and in the morning they drop them off when they got up and like it just
Mm-hmm.
my parents were here, the village.
Yeah. The village, exactly. Like thankful for parents who are willing and able to help us, right? Working through things. Not everybody has that option either, right? But it definitely does take a village. I always say it takes a village of solo moms to raise kids.
Well, and
Because I think we
ourselves.
all get it.
Like let's be honest, and ourselves. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know anyone who goes through this experience of being in a relationship or a partnership with someone, raising children, having that lifestyle, living with someone, and then you're solo after. And so much of your time, in my case, was eaten up with the needs of what my partner was doing or what the kids needed, or just, at the time I had a stepdaughter. So it was like so many pieces of your time are focused on others, and that's just where life was in that part of the journey. And then you get this space to be like with yourself, the dreaded like empty nest syndrome when they're 3 and 5, and you have to
Yes.
navigate who you are, and you learn again what you hear people say, like, what would you do if you had an extra date or if you had time to yourself? And like, I don't mean like, oh, I'd go grocery shopping by myself. No, no, no. Like, trust me, you have more than enough time if you start parenting to like 24 hours of time is
And quiet.
unreal.
And it's not like the good kind of
No,
It's not
it,
like, oh, I wish the kids would just like be quiet for 10 minutes. It's like that deafening quiet in the house where it's like there's nothing. There's nothing. Like you
yeah,
can hear the clock tick.
yep.
And you're just like, yeah,
I probably
because you
lived
actually
the
want them there
first,
with you.
yeah. And I probably
Yeah.
lived the first 5 years of like never having quiet, because in the car there was music. When I got home, there was music. There was always that, like I needed the noise.
Mm-hmm.
The silence was deafening
Mm-hmm.
after having two, busy little people around all the time to just me. So, I mean, you have to learn, you need your village for navigating becoming yourself again, right? Figuring out where you, what you're basically just figuring out what your interests are outside of being a mom, being a partner, being a wife, being a stepmom, the labels that are there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it's almost like forced onto you though, too. You're like, okay, now what am I going to do?
Yeah, there's a lot of grief that goes in with that piece of it, right? I mean, you don't realize. I mean, I hear my friends who have their children all the time, whether they have a partner or not, say things like, "You're so lucky that you get time to yourself." But the forced time alone, or how it feels is the forced time away from half of your child's life,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
they are out
Yeah.
making memories, core memories
Mm-hmm.
don't,
Without you.
that don't include you, that you were
Mm-hmm.
thinking about their life on days where birthdays, celebrations, first
Mm-hmm.
things, doing things, seeing them, and you're living it through their memory of not
Mm-hmm.
part of that, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's this side of it, I think, that, like, don't get me wrong, there are many, many people who can do this really, really well and co-parent together. But when it's radio silence for a week, and
Yeah.
they are just absent.
And you have no idea what they're doing or where they are.
Correct. Yeah, there
Yeah.
is a forced learned growth, grief, change. It is a complete transformation for you and for them. Like, let's not,
Hmm.
I mean, I can't speak from my children's perspective. Now that they're older, we do sit down and talk about it sometimes, but I mean, it's it's a big, big, big change. All, and I wouldn't say it's all of a sudden, but there's unexpected moments of time where I did not expect those things to be issues.
Hmm.
Eating dinner alone, learning how to cook
Hmm.
after cooking for a family for so long. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, just me. What do you mean? Like one serving? How do you make one serving of something?
You don't. You make multiple and you eat them over like 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's like a bunch of influencers that will like post things about meal prep, like just step into my
Yeah.
kitchen, any meal, and it's like a thing.
Just be a mom, make for a family, and you're done. Meal prepped.
Yeah.
Ta-da! You could have been
Who
doing this
knew?
for all these years, Jeanine.
Oh, who knew?
Famous by now.
Like I just call them leftovers, but fancy it up. Let's call it meal prep. That's what we're doing.
That's what you should start doing. Any leftovers, meal prep, done. Oh my
So
god. Yeah.
this silly, like I can laugh about it now, but I can tell you that first meal where I looked at the kitchen and I went, oh, well, oh, okay. Well, I guess I have suppers. Like they're done now. But what am I going to do with the time I was going to cook tomorrow? Like,
Yeah.
you kind of have to navigate like all of these things, or it's like just the nuances of like, you don't prepare after becoming a mom to become a
Hmm.
single person again.
No. No, that's exactly it. That's never the intention. Never. You never intended to have those first,
No.
right? Like
Yeah.
your whole plan was to like get married and have your family and be together and like create this life together. And even when your kids are gone, then you still have your partner and you get to live your life together. And like, that was the original plan, right? And so then there's like the grieving of like the divorce, the grieving of what we thought the future was going to be like. There's the grieving of not having your kids around all the time, the grieving of not the first, and all of that. And yeah, really being alone, right? Um, and yeah, that's why it's like so important to have like that community and that those people around you that really understand and you can confide in and everything too.
You know what? It's funny because I sat here thinking, and I'm like, so do I leave? Do I stay? It's very representative of sort of how this life after works out.
This is so representative of how life is
I mean,
with kids when you're a
have,
single mom.
yeah, you have all of these really great expectations and plans,
Yeah,
and
of how
yeah,
things are supposed to go.
yeah. And then here I am sitting
Everybody
alone.
can experience it firsthand right now. And my daughter's 20. She doesn't even live at home.
And it's like getting on that phone call when they're little, and that's when they need you the most, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I have the buffer of like I'm recording, and so they know that they'll be on camera if they need something from me right now. So they're avoiding me like the plague. I should just video record everything
Just pretend that you're on video.
all the
I'm in a
time.
meeting. I'm in a meeting. Mom, you've been in a meeting for 3 hours.
Super important. We're on important business. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm glad we can laugh about this.
Ah. Well, you know what?
So I was talking about how like with shared holidays and like yeah, like sometimes as a mom you end up missing their birthday, like on their actual birthday. Like for me that was really hard.
Yeah, I took the calendar away from life. It
Yeah,
sounds, it was
I agree
so hard.
100%.
It was so hard for all of my immediate family, I think. I mean, they
Mhm.
didn't really say anything, um, but I know like the importance of Christmas Day on the calendar, the actual day of, right?
Yeah.
And I just made a day that represented that day somewhere.
Mhm. Mhm. Which is what we have to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of times that Santa came early or late to our house for Christmas, or you celebrate Thanksgiving the weekend after, or you have a birthday party before they leave for the summer, or whatever. Like you literally, like you said, you throw the calendar out and you just create your own.
Yeah.
Basically, it's how it is because otherwise you're just like, yeah, you feel like you're just missing so many things.
You you know what I realized through this whole process is, and it was quite early on, but it wasn't early enough, if that makes sense. But I
Mm-hmm.
realized that for my own sanity and to make this work so that so it felt like my family still, I had to make everything non-traditional. I had to make everything outside the box. I had to make it work here
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
and not care at all what was happening outside
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
in traditional ideas of what family is, right? Because it was like fighting systems that just aren't built for the reality of what life was for us.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. So, so you are divorced, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And what was your experience through navigating that?
Like the system itself, like we could be here for 10 days if we're going to talk about it.
Well,
It took
just
years.
surface level. The system is horrible. I think everybody knows that the system is horrible.
Yeah.
And you've had your fair share of experiences with having to be in and out of court and everything too. And like, kudos to you for doing it by yourself because that is a whole other beast on its own to take that on by yourself.
I didn't do the first set by myself. I
Yeah.
paid a lot of money to lawyers who were doing jobs that they were paid to do and paid really well.
Mm-hmm.
My dad will tell you that they're paid very, very well.
Right.
Should have been a lawyer, I'm realizing. Although, you know, I take that back. I take that back. Take that back. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. Um, but I mean, ugh, it's a yucky system. So in an ideal
It
situation
is.
where everybody wants the best and everyone is looking out for just leaving that relationship, it probably works great. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think when you add in mental health, addictions, personality styles, the need to win, like all of that stuff, even with lawyers, it was a challenge. I had the same lawyer for the years in which I used a lawyer. Um, but I think he either fired his lawyer or his lawyer fired him. I think he went through three before we finally had enough on paper that we could get things done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and if anything, I would just say like if I were to go through any of it again, I wish I would have wrote down everything ahead of time and signed papers ahead of time. Everyone says
Mm-hmm.
it's doomsday building, but like trust me, it just makes things so much simpler when you build it when you're in a place of looking out for the best interest of what that might look like, right?
Having to go back and like recap everything and like dig through all of that on top of everything else you were doing, on top of working two jobs, on top of like parenting, on top of all of that stuff. Like that is a lot. Like when you want to talk about like mental health, how much that plays a toll on like
Oh, I
a
just
mom's
survived.
mental health.
I just survived.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I worked the entire time of my separation time frame. Um, like a sick day here and there. I had the boys almost like I had them way more than like more than like probably
Mhm,
full time.
mhm,
Um, but I tell you, like I worked downtown at the time. My drive home is spent a crying. Because the minute I picked up my kids from, well, at work all day, you can't be a mess
right.
with all of the whatever's going on. Like, no matter what your situation is, it's freaking stressful. Like, there's
Mhm,
finances involved, there's emotions involved, there's grief involved, there's children involved, there's like, there so many pieces of it just
mhm,
become this you have to fix it all and do it all and know the answers of what
mhm,
you need during that time. So
mhm.
at work all day, I was very good at compartmentalizing. Probably wasn't great for my mental health, but like that's the only way to survive it was work. I had a really good coworker when I was going through like the worst of it, and we would just walk and walk and walk and walk. Like every break was walking. Um,
That's good.
and just knowing what was going through my life, this situation, I'm sure like, it becomes the people who are important get that time, and the people who, you just don't have the social capacity for. Like there weren't a lot of people in my life at that time. There wasn't a lot of social capacity in my space for
Yeah.
much more than work, thinking about all the things that needed to get decided, dealing with all of the phone calls and the lawyers and, decisions and rereading paperwork and then coming home,
Yeah.
picking up the boys. They were 3 and 5 when all of this started. So, like, the last thing I wanted to do was be a mess
Mhm,
with them, right? So it was like,
mhm,
okay, just play, supper, bath time, bedtime. And then, that was either breakdown moment for me after they went to bed and they're sleeping, because heaven forbid they see a tear. Oh no, mom's human. Like, I don't know what there was with the pressure of
yeah.
not allowing them to see that, like, I think I was just trying to hide the hurt. Like, there was enough hurt already for them. Like, they were,
Yeah. You're just be strong for them.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then there were lots of nights in the beginning where they went to bed, I got in the bathtub, and I either lived there for an hour or like there were lots of nights where I would drain the water and rerun a bath because it was the only time and space that I had to just be. And water,
Mhm,
like my friend, like I'm a fire sign. So, like,
mhm.
when things are freaking hot, they're hot and you need the water.
Yeah, you need to just cool it down a
Like, I
little.
don't even know
Like,
how else to explain it. Like, I
yeah.
legit should have been a prune, mermaid, whatever. But like I would take my laptop, throw it on the toilet, put on shows, and just do nothing,
Mhm. Yeah.
And guess what? Like
Just
your
to
house doesn't
decompress.
get clean, and like things don't, like, the dishes and stuff were always put away because that was kind of part of our routine. Like after supper, I didn't have a dishwasher in the beginning, so it was like if you don't do them one night, they're like it's forever. It's a forever job.
I think going back, like, just because you're like the house wasn't clean and whatever else, like, I think there is a big, um, there's a lot of pressure on moms to have this immaculate, perfect house all the time when you're literally just trying to raise your kids. And like, it's meant to be a home, like, it's their home too, right? So, like, oh, well, if there's toys, oh, well, if it's messy, oh, well, if whatever, right? Like, it doesn't have to be freaking perfect. And I think that, like, I don't know about you, but like, I came from a household where, like I had a mom and dad, and my mom was like a stay-at-home mom and stuff. So like that's what she did all the time, right? Is like took care of the meals and everything else, which was amazing. And but then there's like that pressure when you're the only one to like still maintain that that level. Or did you feel that way?
No,
Was that just me?
really thought that way. You know what? I stressed myself out over things that I needed to learn. Didn't like my kids are happy, they're safe,
Hmm.
they're sleeping.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't care that the cracker crumbs are on the floor under the table. I don't have rodents in my house. There's no like sanitary concerns. But
No.
like put a pair of slippers on. Or, hey, you know what? Like I've said to many people, the broom's in the closet. If
Yeah.
it bugs you,
If it bothers you, there's the broom. You
uh,
can ride it on your way out, actually.
like, and no disrespect from me, right? Like, if this is something that when
Hmm.
you come to my house and you just have the need to clean, like, I will
Yep,
tell you where
please
my
do.
cleaning products are. I do freaking own them. But
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like the fact that like you, you know, your mental health, you chose your mental health, which was way more important, right?
well,
I
and
felt like
sometimes I
I
didn't have the
always needed to
capacity.
be cleaning.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
have the
and that's
capacity.
exactly it.
Yeah.
I
And
just felt like I always need to be cleaning. And if that was usually my outlet. Is like if I was like stewing about stuff, I was like cleaning, cleaning.
so I can tell you now, almost
Hmm.
like this many years out, I know that something is not sitting well because I have the urge to like angry clean, I call it. I may not be
Oh yeah.
angry, but um it was a funny thing is therapy is really, really good for you sometimes. I learned I learned when I was going to a therapist when the things were the worst, that there are some things that you do to cope.
Hmm.
And I didn't realize that, having the perfect house and the pantry was like you could lick the cans from the grocery store and probably never get sick in my
Hmm.
marriage. I didn't realize that that was my way of controlling the chaos that was happening in my relationship.
Yeah.
So when I get that way now, I actually feel scared because
Mm.
I I associate it with unresolved something.
Hmm.
So I mean, I'll label it sometimes. I'll be like, well, I just didn't know what to do with myself, so I cleaned my house because I didn't want to deal with whatever issue it was. Maybe it's a fight with a family member, whatever it is now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, but I still use that as a coping strategy for like when I don't know what to do. Um, but while I was living in that time when I didn't have enough time to keep the house how I thought it should be.
Exactly.
What I lived in my expectation of people are going to think, fill in the blank, right? Can't keep shit together, can't do
Hmm.
life, whatever that thought might be.
Yeah.
When I was living in that, I remember thinking, would I rather go outside and spend those 10 minutes? It's only going to take me 10 minutes to clean this. Would I rather spend those 10 minutes with my kids now that I only have less time? Like they're gone now sometimes, right? So
Hmm.
would I rather spend
Hmm.
the time when they're here doing this or cleaning something? Guess what?
Yeah.
The cleaning's going to be like, that's going to be there.
Hmm.
And we get to go for a walk or to the park, or like they were quite little, so it was like lots of bike riding and boy things, right? Like, yeah,
Hmm.
that
And that's exactly it. You just make different choices. The time that you had with your kids, you spend it with them. I would usually like have a revolving cleaning schedule that whenever the kids left for the weekend, that's when I did like my big cleaning, right? And all that kind of stuff, which was obvious also filling the void of everything of just not having them there as well. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And I did that, like I lived a separate for a long time. I felt like I had two lives when they were little because I had
Hmm.
my life as a mom
Hmm.
and all the things for them. And then on the weeks that they would see their dad or the days that they would see their dad, whatever stage it was in, it was like purposeful planning of time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Only because in our situation, I was avoiding the fact that I was not able to be in the same space, right? So it wasn't that I couldn't have gone. I shouldn't go during those times that it was really terrible, right? To their events on the days that they weren't living with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was purposely planned, friends, socializing. Like I had some friends during that time. They didn't even know I had kids, and not because I didn't care to tell them, but because it wasn't my focus and they weren't close enough. They would have been like just sort of on that outside of that circle, right?
Yeah.
There were many
Yeah.
people because I lived really private then, like really,
Mm-hmm.
really. I mean, you only have so much energy for so many things. And the social side of things became super overwhelming when I had to start over. Like, I legit had to start over. My social circle when I was married was my married life. It
Yeah.
revolved around my ex-husband and I's friends and their partners.
Mm-hmm.
And there weren't
Well,
many that stayed.
yeah, that's a very valid point to make, like how even your friendship circle and everything changes after you get divorced and what your social life even looks like in general and who you socialize with or don't socialize with anymore, or like sometimes there's picking sides and whatever else, right? And yeah, like it's not always pretty, and it's yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things to take into consideration.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there was there's circumstances that are different for everyone, right? So like without trying to paint it like super negative, but like there was lots of infidelity and there was lots of addictions and there was lots of like it wasn't just oh we fell out of love. Like this isn't one of those situations where it's like we just weren't compatible anymore. That
Mm-hmm.
happens too, right? And
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes those people get to become really great friends and stay amicable and co-parent really well and they actually do true co-parenting.
Right.
Um, that's great. And I'm like often envious of the people who can make that work. Um, it will not be the case. Like that there is no like someday when we're old, we'll sit and we'll laugh and we'll do these. No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, no. And unfortunately for my children, like that won't be their parents ever, right? It will be separate tables, it will be across the room, it will be and that's just
Yeah.
how it will be, right? So the friendship thing was unexpected as well. Like, I mean, now in hindsight, no, but in at the time, right? It was like, now what? Right? I'm legit starting over at 30 something years old. Jeepers.
Mm-hmm.
Can't,
So, what do
can't
you
run up to
feel
someone
like?
on the playground then and be like, let's be friends and make bracelets. It's very different.
Do people do that?
In elementary
Should we
school.
start making bracelets? I don't think that's how that.
Might work that way somewhere.
Pardon? You what? Oh my goodness.
I mean,
Oh,
it becomes very like, so when did we meet? That would have been like, what, 3 years, 4 years ago?
3 years ago, I think. Yeah,
So, I mean, even that's 7 years after. Like, I haven't
everything.
met some of the women in my life that I connect with and that I identify with and that share like interests, minded thinking for that long, right? Like, it took a while to navigate sort
Hmm.
of, the handful of people that I would, that gets the off cuff humor and that can laugh
Yeah,
about the fact that like, oh, well, my restraining order, or, like there's so many things that are said in a circle of friends that
that you don't say in every group of friends.
I'm pretty sure someone would call the loony bin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, have you noticed that like through the years that you have like different groups of friends kind of for like each stage of your like kids' lives and everything too? And then you kind of just like outgrow those friend groups and stuff, or no?
Yeah, I mean, some of them happen quite naturally, like they've either moved
Yeah,
away or
exactly.
I've moved location in the city or the event or the activity that sort of connected us. But I'm gonna tell you this, the ones that I have that has happened with, it's not on a negative ending, right? Like
No.
it
Yeah.
is just that season or stage. And a lot of
Hmm.
it, when
It's the transition.
little, it revolved
Yeah.
around the kids, 100% around the kids. They had children who were in
Mhm.
similar activities or they were at similar activities. Very few of my friends after my divorce or after my separation would have been met in like a social setting, if that makes sense. Just for me, like it was
Yeah.
very much around someplace I was because of the kids or for the kids or to do things with the kids. And
Hmm.
and that's it. Or it was because I was at work, you know, and that
Hmm.
I get paid to be there. So it's not like I'm out there looking for friends trolling at my desk. Like,
As adults, we just go out looking for friends. That's not a thing that happens. You
oh,
just kind of run into each other.
yeah, yeah.
So, like looking back now, what do from a different perspective, how do you feel? Mm.
If I were to tell anyone going through it, is just like give it, like you need the time to do the stage you're in. Like I'm grateful that I did that. I fucking hated it. Sorry for the language when I was doing it.
No.
Like
Hmm.
it is like the grief and the dealing with it and the feeling it sucks when you're in it. And I remember
Yeah.
like my marriage at the end was really rocky and I kind of went through like a separation twice. Like separated,
Mm-hmm.
then got back together a little bit, then finally like done. Um, but I remember the second time making it final and saying, I can't wait to get to the part where it doesn't feel like this because you know it's coming. Like
Yeah.
the raw and open part, like everyone just thinks like, oh, you get it, and it's like everything's all better because now the relationship is over. But there's this whole other part of you as a person. It's not about just that partnership with the person ending. You need to grow during that. Like you need to,
Mhm.
I think of it as like breaking something and you only pick up the pieces that you're willing to get cut by the glass. Because if you're not willing to cut yourself picking it up, don't pick it up. But
Mhm.
there's so many things that you put down after that kind of time as a woman. And when you pick them back up again, they better be worth it. Because it was not only shattering to like break that apart in the beginning, but like the rebuilding of it is just as hard. And I don't think anyone ever talked about that.
No,
No.
no. And you said it so beautifully. You really did. Like it gave
What?
me goosebumps.
What? Don't pick up the
And like
broken
to
glass.
think that way.
I mean,
Pardon?
I've said it a few times, like I needed just the process of ending my marriage. I needed like really heavy, hard, like that the person who was looking out for me, be it God, be it a higher power, be it, however you want to identify that person that looks out for us or being or energy, they had to pretty much kick me in the face and then stand on me to stay down in order to leave. So,
Sometimes. Yep.
right? So when I started to look around and say, okay, so this is what got me to this place in my relationship, what I allowed in my life. Uh, she was great then, but all of her is not coming with me. or I'm going to end up in the
Mhm.
same place again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the part of it that, like, do I regret? No. Do I wish I would have done, like, do I wish I would have seen, hindsight's 2020, I think. I wish I would have seen things a lot sooner. I mean, our relationship was, I was 21, 20, 20,
Mhm.
right?
But that's like you're very young, right? And so you're not, you know,
Yeah.
fully aware of like anything. I feel like you just get into this like probably like lovey-dovey, you know what I mean, rose-colored glasses type situation sometimes, and then they come off, and you're like, what in the actual hell is going on here?
Yeah. Well, and my family of origin too, right? Like, there's a really, I mean, my parents have been married their entire adult life, and they have
Mhm.
a great marriage, and they are wonderful people. There's a lot of pressure
Mhm.
as women to
To make it
make it
work.
work.
Yeah. No, there is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the
There is.
vows, right? Sickness and
Exactly.
health, for better, for
Mhm.
worse.
Mhm.
Nobody puts a
Until the
caveat.
verse is like,
Yeah. Nobody puts a caveat on the worst. Like, the worst should not be eating your soul
exactly.
and,
Exactly.
becoming a
Yeah.
shell of a person for
Mhm.
the sake
Mhm.
of a marriage or a family or a life that is an expectation, right? I feel like I was from a generation where it was, you do these things in this order.
Mhm.
Once you've done these things in this order, your happily ever after is supposed to
Yeah.
happen.
Not.
Like, I wish someone would have told me that, like, you can live like a gypsy in a van for as long as you want and then decide what you want to do with your life. Like, I'm probably would have done that.
We didn't realize we had these options.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it seems so different now. I and I'm not like super old either, but like sometimes I feel like there's just such messages now that 20-year-old women get that we never even
Mhm.
saw. We were
No.
just told we could do it all.
Well, and I think that's because social media now too. Like, I think social media shows that there's like so many different things that you can do with your life, and that you don't have to do the whole like, you know, get married, find, or like all like the whole thing that we were bought and sold, right?
Yeah.
That that's not necessary in order for you to live this joyous, loving, healthy life, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And I
yeah.
mean, thank God
I'm
social
just
media wasn't around because holy.
well, that too. I'm grateful. Left unknown.
Yeah. 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 It would be hard pressed to find, what did you do
Going
for fun
back
in your
to
20s?
sorry.
It would be hard pressed to find a photo or an image or a video of what did you do for fun in your 20s?
Right. Minor details. No, going back to like the plate shattering thing that you had said kind of thing, I was thinking like how you really find new pieces of yourself in the shattering
Mhm.
that you didn't discover that were there before.
They get glazed over.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And so those are usually the pieces that you end up having to pick up because you're rebuilding a newer version of yourself that, you know, you didn't even know existed, basically.
No, I equate it to being like the most of your 6-year-old self that you could. Because well, your 6-year-old self doesn't ever think about the expectations of someone else. Not ever. You just do what
Hmm.
you wanted. And I mean,
Hmm.
not reckless, but sometimes. But like, you do what feels right for you,
Hmm.
right? And so those pieces have been covered up with expectations of others, of self, of roles that are put on you, of labels that are given to you when you become stepmom, mom, wife, mother, all of these things whatever your profession is, sometimes that layers it too, right? So like
Yeah.
you put those things in a place somewhere that you never look at them anymore. And I feel like sometimes something like this reawakens. I used to love whatever that is. For me, it was like I was always very active. Um, and I kind of put that down until my kids were born. And then I started running. One, because
Mhm.
I called it running the crazy off. Like legit, I had so much anxious energy that I didn't know where to put it. Um,
Yeah.
and so I would run. Um, with the kids, without the kids, just there wasn't 2 days where I didn't go for a run back then.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, was it good for me? Well, it's a healthy habit, but I don't know if it was necessary. Like, there's no way it would have been sustainable for a long, long time, not with
Right.
some severe injuries.
Mhm.
But there were days
Mhm.
where I would drive without the kids when I didn't have them, and I would go for a run. And on my drive home from I used to run at Wascana Lake. On my drive home from Wascana Lake, I used to be like, oh, I could just stop by the depot, like RCMP. There's a really nice run that I like to do around there too. And I would stop and I would do a second run after my first run. Like it,
Oh my God, girl.
and they're 5K, like both those loops are 5K.
Wow.
So like
That's very impressive.
it was just my way of coping because
Mhm.
when I did that, I didn't have to do anything else.
Yeah. Nobody needs anything from you. It's just you and yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we go back, like if you allow yourself, I think you go back to
Mhm.
those, like you hear about it all the time. People pick up painting, people pick up cooking, they do, they start a business. Like that's because they have no expectations from someone else but themselves.
They just do it because they love it and it's what they want to do. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think everybody has their moment when they decide to do that. Right. And
Yeah.
it's not the same as everybody else's, but you just have your moment where it's like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap this up?
I don't know. I think this is great for you to be doing this. I think every one of us
Oh,
have
thank you.
like some sort of different perspective on it, right? And like none
Mhm.
of our stories are gonna be
No.
like, I don't think there'll be tidbits from, you know, just one. It will be like little glimmers from all of them. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate that this is something that is on a platform somewhere.
Mhm. Well, I'm very grateful that you even were willing to share your story with us and all your beautiful words of advice and just little innuendos and everything tonight. Yeah, I'm very, very grateful. And I'm excited about this series. I don't know. I just decided, I was like, you know what? I feel like this is something I need to do. Like, I feel like we need to share our stories and get it out there and allow other moms to realize that you're not alone in this and we've been through it and we understand, and that, just to bring that comfort to more women. Because I know personally myself, I really struggled feeling like, just because of my upbringing and everything, like you had said, like you don't get divorced, you stay married, you do the thing, and then you throw religion on top of that, and it's like, ooh, which I'm like far from that now, but it was just a lot. Yeah. So
Yep.
thank you so much for being here, Jeanine. I appreciate you so much and hope that everybody enjoyed listening. And till we see you all again, take care.
Thank you.